Why did Ken and Alyssa disappear without a trace? On the night they were supposed to be happiest, a street lamp flickers over a quiet suburban cul-de-sac. Ken Whitaker stands nervously outside his apartment, glancing at his watch. Alyssa Monroe's laugh echoes faintly from inside, a sound that will haunt this block forever. By the end of this story, every neighbor's secret will feel exposed, and one overlooked detail will shatter everything. No one knocked, no one answered, and the door swung open to reveal only their abandoned belongings. Coats folded neatly, phone on the counter, and a single red scarf that belonged to Alyssa. Ken and Alyssa had been inseparable, their love story whispered about by neighbors. But that evening, something invisible yet suffocating wrapped around them. Troy Benson, Ken's friend, noticed the apartment lights stayed on past midnight. Unusual, unsettling. I thought they were arguing at first, but then it went silent, he later told police. Detective Grant Holloway arrived the next morning, eyes scanning the apartment as if it could tell him the truth. On the fridge was a hastily scribbled note. "Don't look for us. You wouldn't understand." Main suspect, unknown, flashes on screen. The timestamp shows 2:17 a.m. Alyssa's phone pinged one last time that night. Location: the park near the river. A serene place, yet chilling in its emptiness. 3 hours later, caption appears. Megan Whitaker, Ken's sister, recalls seeing a shadow near the parking lot cameras. Too vague to identify, but heavy enough to unsettle her. The apartment held their love story, and hints of fear hidden between love letters and shared mementos. A single coffee cup remained, still warm, as if one of them had just stepped out and never returned. The twist: a small, overlooked detail. A note in Alyssa's diary referring to a visitor who knows too much, suggested someone outside the story's circle might have played a role. But one detail didn't add up. The air feels dense. Each frame, each sound, every reflection in the window is a question. Where did they go? And who wanted them gone? The last shot lingers on a muddy footprint on the balcony, leading to nowhere. Detective Holloway whispers to Lizzy Fernandez, "They didn't leave willingly, but someone did." What was Ken and Alyssa running from? And who was waiting for them by the river? The riverbank glistens under the moon, calm but deceptive. A lone shoe floats near the water's edge. Detective Lizzy Fernandez crouches, noting a trail of muddy footprints leading into the shadows. By the end of this part, a shocking discovery will twist everything we thought we knew about that night. Alyssa's scarf, drenched and torn, clings to a branch. Someone had been here, someone with intent. Troy Benson is frantic. He swears he saw a dark car parked near the park hours before the disappearance. Possible witness: Troy Benson. Detective Holloway examines security footage. A shadow moves too fast to identify. Timestamp: 2:45 a.m. Megan Whitaker receives a text on Ken's phone from an unknown number. "Stop looking, or you'll regret it." 3 days later. Clue: floating shoe. Lizzy Fernandez notices small scratches on the riverbank rail. Signs of a struggle. Someone didn't leave voluntarily. A neighbor mentions a faint, repeated whistle at 2 a.m. that night. Sounded innocent, but now terrifying in hindsight. The detectives find a key in the mud with Ken's initials. No lock in sight. Who could have placed it here and why? What hidden truth was Ken keeping from Alyssa? And did it put them both in danger? Back in the apartment, Detective Holloway and Lizzy Fernandez sift through Ken and Alyssa's belongings. A locked drawer sits oddly untouched. Every heartbeat in the silent room echoes tension. By the end of this part, a single discovery will rewrite the story of that night. Inside the drawer, a small envelope marked, "Do not open unless something happens to me." Lizzy carefully opens the envelope. Photographs of the couple in public. But someone else is in the background of every shot, watching. Unidentified observer. Troy Benson recalls a vague warning Ken had whispered weeks earlier. Some people know things they shouldn't. Megan Whitaker notices subtle changes in the apartment. Drawers slightly moved, books out of place. Someone had been searching. But one detail didn't add up. A neighbor mentioned strange phone calls that Ken had ignored. Voicemails deleted before anyone could hear. Detective Holloway's phone pings with a message. Stop digging or they'll disappear for good. Emotional layer. Alyssa's diary pages show her excitement about a new life, unaware that someone was closing in. A photo falls from the envelope, Ken and Alyssa smiling, but behind them is a figure, face blurred, standing closer than they ever realized. Who is watching? And what do they want? Who came to Ken and Alyssa's door that night? And what secret did they demand? The apartment doorbell rings once, then nothing. Shadows stretch across the hallway. Detective Lizzy Fernandez steps closer, notebook ready, as if the silence itself could reveal the truth. By the end of this part, one unexpected visitor will turn the story upside down. A letter slipped under the door. You don't know me, but I know everything about you too. Stop following the wrong leads. Troy Benson recalls seeing a dark sedan parked across the street that night. No one got out, but lights flickered inside. Possible threat. Unknown visitor. Detective Holloway traces the letter to a local courier, but the signature is fake, the route impossible to confirm. Megan Whitaker notices footprints in the hallway carpet. Small, unfamiliar, leading to Ken's bedroom. Unknown footprints. Emotional tension. Alyssa's phone rings. A distorted voice whispers, "You should have listened." She doesn't answer, but the call leaves a lingering panic. Lizzy Fernandez checks surveillance outside the building. Shadowy figures move between parked cars, watching silently. The detectives find a burned matchstick in the trash, stamped with a local bar's logo. Ken and Alyssa had visited this bar earlier that night, but no one remembers seeing them leave. What shocking secret did Ken hide? And did it put Alyssa in even greater danger? Detective Lizzy Fernandez flips through Ken's journal. Every entry is carefully penned until one page is torn out. A cold draft sweeps through the apartment, carrying the weight of a truth someone wanted buried. By the end of this part, the detectives will discover a secret that changes everything. Ken had been quietly investigating a local crime ring, unbeknownst to Alyssa. His notes suggest they were being watched and followed. Troy Benson suddenly recalls Ken mentioning an old business partner who wasn't someone you trusted with your life. Detective Holloway finds receipts for strange late-night purchases. Masks, gloves, and a burner phone. Clues? Ken's preparations. Megan Whitaker uncovers a hidden camera memory card behind a bookshelf. The footage shows shadows moving outside the apartment window weeks earlier. 3 days before disappearance. Alyssa's diary mentions her excitement about a surprise Ken promised, but the entries now read like warnings she never understood. Emotional tension. Lizzy Fernandez notices subtle scratches on the apartment doorframe. Someone had been trying to force their way in. Among Ken's notes, a single cryptic line stands out. If anything happens to us, follow the river. The detectives exchange a tense glance. Could this be a lead to their disappearance? What did the river hide? And why was it waiting for Ken and Alyssa? Detectives Holloway and Lizzy Fernandez return to the riverbank. Fog rises over the water, hiding the shoreline. Every step crunches in the silence, each ripple a reminder that the river may hold secrets no one wants uncovered. By the end of this part, a clue will emerge that no one could have anticipated. A partially submerged backpack drifts near the reeds. Inside, Ken's wallet and Alyssa's bracelet. Evidence that someone had deliberately left it to be found. Troy Benson leads the detectives to the area where he last saw their car parked. Last seen. River Park parking lot. Lizzy Fernandez notices muddy footprints leading into a thicket, but they vanish as if whoever left them knew the terrain intimately. Megan Whitaker points out a torn piece of Alyssa's scarf snagged on a branch, its fibers damp and frayed. Clue. Fragmented evidence. Emotional tension. Detective Holloway finds a hidden message etched into a tree trunk. You were warned. The handwriting is unfamiliar, chilling. A neighbor recalls seeing a car leaving the river area just before sunrise. Lights off, engine silent, as if escaping unseen. As the detectives pull the backpack from the water, a small notebook falls out. On its first page, they know. They're coming. Who knew? And who is they? After days of silence, what finally led detectives to Ken and Alyssa, and the truth behind their disappearance. The riverbank is quiet, fog lifting as morning sunlight cuts through. Detective Lizzy Fernandez kneels, examining the notebook found in Part 6. Every clue finally clicks into place, like pieces of a puzzle the world had almost forgotten. By the end of this part, justice will be served, and the truth revealed. The notebook reveals detailed observations and a final warning. Ken had uncovered a dangerous human trafficking ring operating nearby. Alyssa's curiosity had unknowingly put them in danger, but their courage helped expose it. Detective Holloway cross-references the clues. The footprints, the shadowy figures, and the burned matchstick critical lead. River footprints. Lizzy Fernandez discovers a hidden storage unit connected to the crime ring. Inside, evidence of illegal operations and the identities of the perpetrators. Troy Benson is shaken but relieved. He provides testimony confirming Ken's suspicions, helping law enforcement tie the suspects together. Megan Whitaker cries quietly as detectives confirm that Ken and Alyssa had been held briefly but were now safe, thanks to the investigation sparked by their loved one's persistence. Alyssa's scarf, recovered intact, is returned to her. She hugs Ken, tears of relief mixing with the lingering trauma. Resolution. Survivors reunited. The local authorities arrest the culprits identified through Ken's notes and the evidence collected. Justice, delayed but achieved, brings peace to the community. Ken and Alyssa walk away from the river, hand in hand. Their story, once filled with fear and uncertainty, now stands as a testament to courage, vigilance, and the power of never giving up. If you want more emotionally gripping, real-life true crime stories, subscribe to The Veil of Secret and join us as we uncover the mysteries others try to hide.